Hey guys!
Hello.
Sega!
I'm Rob the Fox and welcome back to Sonic 4 Episode 1. With this episode could be the finale. As long as everything goes right. Because we did Splash Hill, we did Casino Street, we did Last Labyrinth, and we even did Mad Gear. Now it's on to Egg Station. Final showdown in space. Here we go. And I'm going to show you guys what this is. It's a boss rush. But each boss is only 4 hits instead of 8. I think it's only 4. Damn, I'm losing all my rings. Okay, I'm going to need to restart this. Screw it, I'm not restarting it. I'm making a commitment, damn it. So I don't think there's even enough rings in here to be supersonic. I don't know, I've never been supersonic in here before. Because I always have to lose my rings, this is annoying. I'm not sure if that's Earth or Mobius in the background. But judging from the fact that this originally took place after S3 and K, it's safe to assume that's probably Mobius in the background.
What's the deal with that? Do they just like all go to Earth after Adventure, or is Adventure like...
Adventure's on Earth. Adventure Onward is on Earth.
So them coming to Earth from Mobius is canon.
Yep.
Okay. There are no humans save Eggman in the current comics, so do they come back to Mobius in a subsequent game or something? Or in the humans I've seen?
Now that I think about it, with if
There's
it's
humans in Unleashed. There's humans in 06.
there's no humans in colors, but the thing is, it's made for people because for how Eggman talks over the PA system or his PA messages. Forces.
That would be about the timing of the comic, because the comic picks up after that.
I think it might be Mobius because instead of people there's a bunch of animals like Sonic. And
yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, if that would be Earth, the Earth's population would have to be wiped out. Considering how many destroyed cities and that everything are.
True. Oh no, Sonic canon gets confusing. Because sometimes there's humans and sometimes they're all animal people. I don't.
Well, the gist that I got is that if they're animal people, it's Mobius. If they're regular people, it's Earth. Oh, damn it.
Yeah. I don't know. Shit gets confusing, man.
And one thing I would say, I'm not sure how true this is, but like the whole fact of like one thing I remember hearing is that basically like Forces says that modern games, I don't know how I managed to get through that, basically takes place in a different universe, or in a different timeline. That's not what I believe. And here's why. First of all...
Wait. So... Okay, so what I'm getting from that, I might have misheard, but just hear me out and let me finish. What you're saying is from Forces onward, the modern games, meaning pretty much everything up to, let's say, Colors, because that seems to still be canon, is a separate universe from the games after, and the current games tied to the originals.
Well, basically, all, like, from Adventure...
Like one timeline branches into Adventure, and the other one advances into the newer shit where they're all adventures.
Yes.
Okay,
well, here's...
that I can kind of... Oh god, we're getting into some Zelda.
Well, I think it's something that you mentioned before. It's like, was that the, and I think it was like a similar topic before, that we mentioned, and like, basically like, all of the 3D games that take place in a different, like an alternate universe. Here's what I believe. Now this is just speculation, so I'm not sure like how concrete this is. So guys, take whatever I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But basically, all the games that's in Generations, and even possibly including these, I'm not sure where Lost World fits into this. So I'm excluding that game for now. I hate this second part. Well, basically, all the games...
Generations, Colors...
Yeah, all the games that's included in Generations, that is from Sonic 1 all the way up to Colors, they're one timeline. And that's including Mania. Now, here's the thing, because Generations was all about traveling through time, because they mention it several times.
Exactly.
That of them like referencing the classic versions of themselves as themselves from the past. Now here's the thing. So
I'm sorry, the more we read into this, the more I'm just getting Vietnam flashbacks to the Zelda timeline.
So if we were to look at, say, we'll call the Generations timeline, if we were to look at that as the modern portion of it as being a separate universe, it wouldn't make any sense. And although in the classic Sonic and Sonic Forces mentioned that Tails says that they haven't seen classic Sonic since Generations. But here's the thing. Although classic Sonic, the last 3D game that classic Sonic was in was Generations, doesn't mean the Generations that we got is linear or in the same timeline as what Forces is.
Yeah, here's the thing with Forces, and what I've gleaned is, okay, this is canon, because, like I said, I've been reading the comic, and it picks up directly after Forces, and features many elements from recent Sonic games. Things that are definitely canon, the events of Colors. Colors is definitely canon. Generation, and we could assume Generations is. Forces definitely is. Lost World is, because the Deadly Six just showed up. I don't know about Unleashed or where Sonic.
Now,
any of that
here's the thing.
Shit.
here's now.
Shadow exists. So, you know, wait, no. If Adventure 2 has to, then they have to all be.
Now here's the thing. You're giving proof of the modern games being in a separate timeline. Here's the thing.
I don't.
If they're on Mobius, correct, right? How, with like all without the animal people on it, how does the adventure games with them being on Earth fit into it?
Yeah, that's the confusion, right? Because
now, this is where like what.
in Adventure, no, they don't even go to Earth because Angel Island is shown as being on the same planet as they are. So it has to be just Mobius the whole time.
Now, here's where my speculations come in.
Oh my god.
There are two separate timelines. Where basically the Generations timeline is one whole timeline in of itself. The Forces timeline, however, is its own timeline with its own events. So basically, like the events of Forces, because they can be timelines where similar events happen in both of them. Similar events could have happened in, say, the Forces timeline that would make things go the way that it did. So, say for instance, the Generations timeline is where the timeline where they went to Earth. But the Forces timeline, they stayed on their own planet completely.
I think Mobius is not even a thing anymore because it seems mainly, from what I'm reading here on the wiki, mainly just be an Archie and early Sonic thing, and they kind of dropped it later in official capacity. It makes it even more confusing.
Because like in like classic canon, like that's what the planet name always was. It was always Mobius, right? That was the same thing in like the classic games. And with Mania, would that take place in after Sonic 3 Knuckles? Yeah, that I can see happen. But who's to say? And Eggman even references this. Because it's literally one of the lines in the game. Sonic from another dimension. That's literally what Eggman says in Forces. Which implies that Forces is in a different dimension than what Mania is. And since Mania is in the Generations timeline, what does that mean? Generations timeline is all linear, with the classic and modern games being involved. With, like I said, the Forces timeline being something separate. Okay, I hate the fact that I can't somehow hit him. I'm sorry guys, but this boss fight makes me nervous. My heart's beating right now. My heart's racing right now. I don't like this boss fight. So, like I said guys, like, take everything I just said with a grain of salt, but that's just a theory that I came up with. Because, like, for the modern timeline to take place in a sub-dimension doesn't make any sense with past events. But for the Generations timeline and the Forces timeline makes a little bit more sense. And plus, the fact with Eggman being trapped in white space, it begs the question, how on earth did he get out? Because white space, there is no way out. You're trapped. And so what I'm thinking is that now this could be a complete stretch of it, but Lost World and Forces could be a part of the same timeline. Here's why. In
like I said,
in Lost World, there's no reference to the previous events. Of any other previous game. And what's in Forces? Deadly Six. And the other games that followed?
So are the other game that should be considered canon to Forces is call it Wisps.
Even the Wisps in that game are even the Wisps in Lost World are different.
I don't know them, but I don't know. I give up. This shit's literally giving me a headache.
Because if Lost World was indeed canon to the rest of the games, you would think that it would be referenced somehow in the later games. But there's no reference to it whatsoever.
Okay, does anyone ever talk about 06 at any point whatsoever, though?
06 is part of Generations timeline. Because Crisis City is in it.
Yeah, this is some Crisis on Infinite Earths level timeline bullshit right now, where I don't know what the fuck to make of. Oh my god.
Because, like, the main reason why or how I came up with that theory is because Lost World and
Lost World's in another dimension anyway. Ain't the Lost Hex just like another dimension or some shit?
I think
Ain't that what the deal is with that?
I think it's a I'm not sure quite what it is. I mean, it looks like a planet, it's like a really weird planet, but I'm not quite sure what the whole deal of that is.
Because alternate dimensions do not necessarily... An alternate dimension would not necessarily adhere to our concept of the normal flow of space-time, meaning things could flow differently in an alternate universe or dimension than they do here.
That's what I'm
which you
saying.
will see a lot in fiction. Like, that's some Digimon shit. They do that in Digimon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about... Oh yeah, guys, if you manage to get all the rings, you get Supersonic instead of regular Sonic. I forgot about that. Wait, that's what I was saying about Lost World and the events of Forces.
Yeah.
Like, although there are similar things that happens in the Forces timeline as what does in the Generations timeline, the outcomes are completely different. Because in the Generations timeline, you have both Eggman trapped in white space with no way out. Forces timeline, the planet is completely overrun by Eggman and everything in its wake has been destroyed.
Yeah, okay. So at the end of Lost World, he gets put in the white space, or is it Generations that happens?
Generations.
I already forgot.
Generations.
Okay.
Lost World.
Okay.
At the end of Lost World's kind of funny. He falls from a, what I assume to be like a sky base almost, and he gets plucked out of the ground by Orbot. That's what happens in there.
Yeah. What games did the Orb and Q-bots first show up in?
Colors.
Okay.
Well, the first time a bot like that showed up was in Unleashed, but the Orbot.
You want to get even farther? They're pretty much.
The Orbot looking robot in Unleashed was in different colors, and oh my god, he had so much sass, it was hilarious. I mean, he was not afraid.
Orbot's got some sass in him, but not as much. Whereas Q,
he was not.
I forget.
He was just a dumbass.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That's just shtick. He was an idiot.
Let's quit beating around the bush. They're just the modern versions of Scratch and Grounder.
More or less.
That's literally what they are.
Except Orbot doesn't like working with Eggman.
Yeah.
In fact, there's one scene.
They actually showed that in the Forces comic, or the current IDW comic. They actually showed that.
There's a scene in Lost World. I'm not going to spoil too much because we are going to be doing Lost World later. But there's literally a scene where Orbot wants to become Sonic's sidekick. And Eggman's still there listening to everything. I'm not even kidding. And Eggman's over there, and like, I'm still here, you know. And there's another scene where Sonic says, like, was it whoever thinks Eggman says a bonehead, raise their hand, and everybody who had hands raised them, including Orbot. Oh, okay, with that enormous conversational voice. I don't know why the music went out of sync like that. That's weird. So guys, there's Sonic 4 Episode 1 finished. I don't like the boss fight, but this game's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this game isn't the best 2D Sonic game out there, I will be honest. But it's still pretty, it doesn't deserve the amount of hate that it gets, guys. Watch. We see him next game. Yep. So guys, I think it's best to leave it on this mysterious screen. And call this game here. So guys, like I said, there's Sonic 4 Episode 1 finished. So, use your homing attack and the like button if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys want to see more stuff like this. And we'll see you next time. Hey guys. Which, like I said in a previous episode, episode 2 is going to be put into the same playlist as this, so you guys will be able to find both games easier. And plus, where episode 2 takes place, like, almost like right after this one, it just makes sense. Damn it.